When I first switched to a healthy plant-based diet, I was faced with a number of challenges, such as what to eat, how to prepare the food, but when I figured all that out, there was still something really challenging: how to stick to it, how to actually do what I now know how to do, and that is the struggle that I think most of us face. Let me tell you how I fixed it. Hey everybody, this is Dylan. If you watch my videos, then you're probably in one of three categories as it relates to your health. You're ready to commit to your health, but you haven't really gotten started yet. Or you've been doing it for a while, you know what to do, you know how to do it, but it's really hard to stick to it. Or the third category, you're rocking and rolling, you know exactly what to do. You just keep coming back to Well Your World for the sense of community, the ideas, keeping everything fresh. All three of these categories are something we're all going to go through eventually if we plan on sticking to this for our health, but they have one thing in common, and that is community. You need a sense of community. You need a place to go, people to be with, and to share this experience with in order to stick to it. So let's talk about how community relates to each of the three categories I've just mentioned. If you're just starting out, you need a sense of community because nobody else in your real world is probably doing this. If you're going to change up your entire diet and lifestyle for the purpose of improving your health, well, that puts you in the minority. The vast majority of the people in the developed world are not focused on their health, so you are already very special. Most people just go on eating whatever they want, living whatever lifestyle, and then they'll go to the doctor and be prescribed meds that they'll be stuck on for the rest of their lives. They'll be sick and getting sicker because the meds don't actually fix anything for the rest of their lives. Obviously, you don't want to be that person, or you wouldn't be here watching these videos. You're ready to commit to your health and make changes to your diet and lifestyle. That is awesome. But when nobody around you in the world is doing what you're doing, because you're in this tiny little minority, you need a sense of community. You don't just need to be told what to do and how to do it. You need to be convinced that you can actually create a sustainable diet and lifestyle out of this, that you'll have people in your life to go to that do things like you do it. Without that, you're just watching videos, hoping that you can figure this thing out, and then have somehow the willpower that it takes to stick to it. Well, let me tell you, willpower is useless. There is nothing strong about willpower except being able to tap into it for just these little moments of weakness where you need a little willpower. But if you want to stick to this day in, day out, you need the secret weapon, which is community. People that are going to be able to relate to you, give you advice, a little pep talk once in a while, root you on when things are going well, relate to you when things are going very poorly, which is going to happen to everybody. You never just turn to this way of eating and then you just experience perfection from there on out. Most people focus on health are doing it in a much too complicated manner. We can make it much easier, simpler, and therefore more sustainable in the long run. But you still need the sense of community. Even if you're in the third category, the people that know exactly what to do, how to do it, they've been doing it for a long time, but they just need the sense of community to keep them there, to feel like they have a sense of home, which is Well Your World, to feel like they've got a group of people that they'll always be able to come back to, talk about what's going on in your life, make some jokes about this and that in the chat box. That is where the community really comes into play, and I would encourage you not to underestimate it. Social pressure. Let's talk about social pressure. No matter what thing you're doing in your life that is hard, that is different from what most people are doing, especially these things that we do here at Well Your World, which relate to your health, social pressure is always the strongest factor when it comes to getting derailed. People. They do not want to see you succeed. They don't want to see you do something better than them that puts you ahead of them. They want to feel like they're keeping up with what everybody else in their life is doing. Just about everyone around you is sick. Either they don't know it or they don't want to admit it. They're probably overweight. If they're not on meds yet, they're going to be prescribed meds really soon, or as soon as they muster up the courage to go to their doctor and hear the terrible news that they've been avoiding for ages. You know that feeling. What you're about to take on, or what you've been trying to take on, is going to put you into a whole other world on your own. You are pushing against the status quo, and although most people don't realize, they don't want you to get well. They don't want you to leave them in your dust. And that dynamic between you and the people that you're potentially leaving behind, as far as health is concerned anyway, is the number one thing that makes sticking to this way of eating really, really hard. This is the hardest thing by far. Figuring out what to eat is not all that hard. It's just eliminate all the garbage from your diet. Boom. Then how to eat it. How to actually prepare the food, that's also not that hard. The cooking techniques and all of that are actually simpler than a standard American diet. It's just that they are a little bit different, so there's a learning curve. You figure those things out and you know exactly mechanically what to do. You know how to get the healthy food into your mouth and keep the unhealthy food out. So why aren't we all just doing it then? It's because of the social pressure that we have no one in our lives doing it, and that every turn into every store or parking lot comes with 10 unhealthy options that are just calling your name. Come on in here for another froyo bowl. It's there and it's really hard to say no to. Then you go into a grocery store, which is where we need to go in order to get all the healthy components, and you're still faced with almost infinite unhealthy options around you that are pulling you to the wrong side of the grocery store. Yes, it turns out that it is really hard to stick to a diet and lifestyle where your health is the #1 prime most important thing. And no matter how well you're doing, it's never going to change out there in the world. You can get better at it, but you're never going to walk into a grocery store where there aren't a bunch of junk food products everywhere. Even if you walk into a health food store, you're faced with virtually all junk food products and then just walls and walls of supplements. Like, if I take all these vitamins, I'm suddenly going to be healthy. Health does not work that way, folks. Even the health people don't realize how health actually works. You are in a tiny minority, and if you want to stick to this, a natural way where you can just eat regular whole food ingredients, not worry about chasing after all the nutrients and all the crazy vitamins and supplements. You don't have to worry about restrictive diets where you're dramatically reducing your portion size and you're hungry all the time. All of those things are out the window, but it's still really hard to stick to this. You need a sense of community. When I first started making YouTube videos, I was in this middle category that I'm explaining. I knew what to do, I knew how to do it, but I was struggling to stick to it because I had nobody to talk to about it. And all the other plant-based communities, I'm not trying to trash talk, but they're all focused on these nitpicky perfection rules where you've got to do the daily dozen every day, you got to eat these 12 things and combine this with this, but don't eat this with that or else you won't absorb any of this. My point is, everywhere I turned to try to find that sense of community, somebody I could talk to about this, they were all people that really weren't doing it like me at all. They wanted to focus on all these nitpicky things for the rest of their lives. You got to have so much time. It has to be your prime, most important thing in your entire world to be able to put it on that. I have other hobbies, folks. I've got kids now. I've got all kinds of crazy things that I want to do that have nothing to do with food or my health or how to feed myself and keep my family well. What turned out to be the case when I got started out on YouTube is that everybody else doing whole food plant-based wanted to focus on every nitpicky scientific reason of why I'm doing this, how to maximize the nutrients and get every last molecule of nutrition out of the food. This isn't how I want to live my life. It still isn't. How I want to live my life is I show up, I eat the healthy food, I'm motivated to eat the healthy food because I have other people in my life that encourage me and remind me that I am on track, I am doing the right thing, even when I get emotional or too busy or whatever it is that might lead me astray. I'm coming back to home the next moment I can. And home for me is Well Your World. The Well Your World community aspect that is so important for me comes in a couple of different ways. One, it's our Facebook group. It's a free Facebook group where we can post and hang out with people. But what is even more important for me is our live streams. That's where I get to interact with all the people that are trying to do the same thing in their life as I'm doing in mine. It's on our Thursday Hangouts for free, where we're in the chat box hanging out. But where I get the biggest sense of community is from our live cooking shows that we do 2 Fridays every month, where I'll do long form cooking. Our YouTube videos are edited, right? They're maybe 8-10 minutes, whatever. But our long form live cooking show is where we're live in the chat box, streaming on YouTube. We'll make usually 3-4 recipes in a show from start to finish. You get to see the whole meal, everything. And you're in the chat box right there. Everybody's hanging out. In fact, a lot of our regulars that come to the chat box for our live streams aren't even paying attention to me, the guy cooking in front of you, for their first run through of the show. They're there because all of their people are there in the chat box. Reeves is in the chat box fielding questions to me, and we're all just talking and hanging out. And some people aren't actually that concerned with the cooking that's going on during their first run through, and they say, we go back for the replay and we pay attention to the recipes and how to prepare them and all that. But when we're watching live, we're just here for the chat. We're here for the community, rooting each other on. I know this is a critical part of the year. We're halfway through the year. We've got 6 months under our belts. We're now the same distance from our last New Year's resolutions as we are from our next ones, which means now is the time for us to focus in and start to ingrain really healthy habits so we can stick stick to this day in, day out. You need a sense of community. Don't underestimate it. It's summer now, which for me is actually a hard time of year because it's so hot outside. I just want to like have everything done for me fast and easy, and I rely on Well Your World recipes for that reason. Which means now is a great time to ingrain the healthy habits going into the rest of the year, the fall. You don't need to enter the fall saying, hey, I'm going to eat a bunch of junk. No. So let's take advantage of this time to really ingrain our healthy habits for the rest of the year. Try to bypass the fall and some of the unhealthy decisions that come around the holidays. We could go into our next New Year's resolutions already way ahead of everybody else. Am I right? And the good news is we're going to make it even easier to be a part of the Well Your World community by opening up a free trial month of our Well Your Weekend live cooking show. That means from the time you sign up for the free trial, you get the next 2 shows included for free. But not just that, you get access to everything we've ever done. It's been 140 some episodes now. I forget how many. I have perfect attendance, folks. I have never missed a show. 2 shows every single month for the last 6 years. That's a lot of episodes, so you get access to everything. That means that during your free trial, you get access to every recipe we have ever made at Well Your World, because our members get our recipes first. It's not till later, maybe a year later, that we might make a quick form version of our recipe that we put on YouTube. You want everything? Sign up for the free trial of our show. There's a downloadable PDF for every recipe we've ever made. You get to watch all the recipe videos. And what's more, you get that sense of community in the live chat box. You can join us for the live streams, hang out with the people that you recognize in the chat, the regulars that are doing this every day, some of the people that are regulars that are saying, hey, I fell off, but I'm back. All of that is going to be there. No matter which of the 3 categories you find yourself in right now, whether you're brand new starting out, welcome, whether you've been doing it but you're struggling to stick to it, or whether you're a pro and you just need that sense of community to keep you on it, to keep you with that sense of at home, that feeling that you're in the right place. And don't miss this awesome perk. Even during your free trial as a member, you get 10% off everything in our store. All of our food products, all of our cookbooks, any other bundle deals that we may be doing, you get to stack 10% on top of all that and anything that we sell. Our punny veggie shirts, those too, you get 10% off of everything, even during the free trial. And once you're a member of our free trial, it's my job to convince you to keep coming back. You get your free month, you can cancel anytime, of course, but I want you to roll it over into the next month and the month after that, and hopefully I bring so much value, and that seeing the long form version of our cooking and hanging out with everyone, getting access to all of our content forever, is hopefully something that will entice you. Reebs and I absolutely love doing the show. It's our favorite part of our job. Being able to interact with real people live while we're doing it is honestly, it's the best feedback we can get. It's the best encouragement that we can get to keep coming back and making videos for you. Stick to this. This is our lifestyle, it's our business, but it's everything together, and we absolutely love it. To sign up for the free trial is so easy. Just go to wellyourworld.com/cooking show and you'll just purchase that item in the shopping cart on our store. Everything will come to your email, so be sure you're checking that. But before you go sign up for the free trial, let me tell you what we've got in store for you for the month of July. This coming Friday is our first episode, and we are doing world famous 10-minute meals. We usually do like 4 simple, fast, easy 10-minute meals in these shows. Time and time again, our members come back to us saying the 10-minute meal shows, we can put them into action right now. It's so beneficial to have these shows. We've got lots of episodes on that you can go back into the archives and check out as well. And our second show is going to be a really tasty assembly meal. This is a technique that our viewers have absolutely loved lately. It's coming up with all these different pieces of meals that you can have stored in the fridge, and then when it comes time to eat, you just assemble the meal in various different ways. So we're going to be showing you a Mexican style of our assembly meals as our second show in July, and then you've got awesome shows for every month of the year. You're going to love it. Going into the fall and the holidays, we have such fun shows. So I hope you'll sign up, give us a shot, and stick with us. If you have any questions, our customer service is unbelievable. Cassandra replies to every email. If you ever have questions or comments or concerns, we are so fast to help you. We want you to have a wonderful experience with Well Your World. It is my #1 priority to keep you coming back because you love this place and you love us. We love you. The most important thing to us is our community, and you are a member of that. We need you to keep ourselves on it too. So go sign up right now for the Well Your Weekend live cooking show free trial, and you can immediately jump into all the previous episodes, and we'll see you this coming Friday for our first live show of July. I can't wait. And another little secret I'll tell you now is we're going to be doing some giveaways. You never know what we might be giving away, but we're doing it in the month of July on our Hangouts and on our shows. We'll see you there. Thanks for the support and for watching this video. I love you. Bye.